Hi, ladies. Welcome. I'm so excited that you are here. And if you haven't met me yet, my name's Kath Cheng, and I work with women in midlife who know deep down that there is something more, even if they can't name it yet, and even if they don't know what that looks like yet. So I want you to know right away that you don't need to have the answers today. You don't need to know what your dreams are yet. You don't need to be ready. Just being here is enough. So welcome, welcome. Before we dive in, let me ask you a few questions. I just want to get a vibe of where you're at. There's no right or wrong answers, but how many of you feel like you're standing in the middle of your life, knowing something more or something wants to change, but not being totally sure what comes next? So if that's you, drop a me in the chat. So there's something, there's something that wants to change, but you're not sure, you're not sure what it is. Drop a me in the chat. Or how many of you have a dream that, or maybe just a feeling that you've been carrying for quite a long time, but you keep telling yourself, I'll deal with it later. Or maybe how many of you have thought, I just need some clarity, and then I'll move forward with this. I want you to just notice, no judgment, because what I want you to hear right away is this. If any of those questions landed for you, you're not behind, you're not broken, or you're not doing it wrong. You're actually right on time. Because today's masterclass is called Unleashing Your Midway Dream. And that title was chosen very intentionally because unleashing is about unveiling, the revealing, the moment when something you've been holding back finally gets permission to come forward. Not someday, not when you feel ready, but now, in a way that feels honest and doable. So whether you know exactly what your dream is or you just don't know, you just feel that there's more, you're in the right place. So what I'm going to show you today, why so many women don't move on their dreams, and why that's not entirely your fault. Sorry, my voice went there. You were taught that midlife requires clarity or action. That midlife requires clarity before action. Having a plan, being ready, having that certainty. But let's bust that myth. Because even when we do have a plan, even when maybe we feel certain, it doesn't always necessarily work out that way, right? Sometimes life even surprises us. So what I'm saying is that certainty does not 100% guarantee safety. And I want you to know, this stage of life, it doesn't begin with answers. It begins with questions. What if this season in our life is all about the unknown? It's about embracing that uncertainty. Hold on to that thought. Because this is where I want to gently shift the energy. Because when we keep calling this season midlife, it subtly trains us to believe that this is the time to settle. This is the time to slow down. Start playing it safe. But what if that framing is all wrong? What if this chapter isn't about winding down, but about what's next? And what if the great thing about this chapter is about finding out, a time to explore, And that's why I I like calling this moment midway. Her midway. Because her midway is to more, a gateway to more passion, more purpose, more possibility. When we say midway, although midway and midlife does, there's not a big difference in the meaning of them. Midlife feels like that's it, like static, it's final. But midway feels like there's still another opening. And here's the part I really want you to hear. You are not meant to know exactly what's next. This chapter isn't designed for certainty. It's designed for exploration. Yes, exploration. The excitement lives in the exploring, in the unknown, in the uncertainty, in the what's next. For so long, midlife has been sold to us like it's a crisis point, the start of a decline, the winding down, the narrowing of possibility, the time to settle. And that perspective keeps us women small. It keeps us stuck in those old roles, those beliefs, those expectations, those shoulds that were never truly ours to begin with. And I remember stopping myself and asking, what if midlife isn't the beginning of the end? What if it's not what, we're told to believe? Like midlife, that's it. Start settling, start slowing down. What if that is all a lie? What if there's something else? What if there's a deeper truth? What if this is a turning point? The moment that you start seeing things differently, feeling things differently, wanting different things, and wanting things differently. That question changed for me. Her midway isn't a strategy. It's a shift in perspective. It's a new way of thinking, a new way of moving, a new way of becoming, where you can choose to have more passion, more purpose, more possibility. That is the power of redefining midlife. That is the power of a shift in perspective. And that is why this work matters so deeply to me. So now that you understand what Her Midway truly is, let me ask you one more question. And this one does need an answer. Are you open to exploring a new way forward, even if you don't have it all figured out yet? Type yes in the chat if you are. And that's not for me, that's for you. If Her Midway is a new way of seeing this chapter, how do we actually walk it without slipping back into waiting and overthinking or self-doubt? Because here's the truth. Exploration without support can feel overwhelming. And exploration without structure can quickly turn into going in circles. So that's why Her Midway isn't just a perspective, it's also a movement. The way that helps you stay connected to what happens to you, so to what matters to you, sorry. It's a way that helps you take steps without forcing clarity. And it keeps the momentum without burning out. Her MidWay is about progress without pressure. It's about learning how to listen to what's emerging and taking aligned steps, even the small ones, and to let clarity catch up to your movement, to your actions. Because clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from engaging with life differently. So I want to share something important with you, which is inside the Her MidWay mentorship experience, we follow what I call the Dream Pathway Method. It's how I help women move from dreaming to actually living what's calling them. And today I'm not going to walk you through the entire Dream Pathway Method, but I am going to start with the first and most essential step, because without this step, nothing else works. And DREAM is an acronym, and D in DREAM stands for desire. Desire. Desire is about discovering what you truly want. Not what feels realistic, not what feels safe, not what you think you're allowed to want, but that dream level desire, that big, audacious, no limits version. The kind of desire that feels exciting, a little scary, and deeply alive. And if it doesn't make you even the slightest slightly uncomfortable, it's probably not a midway dream. And now, in the season of when everyone is setting goals, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Because most of us, we're taught to set goals that are small enough to manage, that are reasonable, that are logical, that make sense, that are socially acceptable. And that's why so many New Year's resolutions sound like, I'm going to lose some weight, I'm going to eat healthier, I'm going to exercise more, I'm going to spend more time with the family, I'm going to be less stressed, I'm going to get more organised. Now, none of those are bad, but they are also not desires. They're what I call maintenance goals. They're often paired with guilt and shame, and they rarely light anyone up, which is why they don't last. And the reason why we set goals like that is because at some point, many of us, we lost access to our imagination. Because when we were kids, can you remember, we used to role play all the time. We used to imagine ourselves as doctors or nurses or teachers or train drivers or, I don't know, leaders. But no one asked us if we were being realistic. And no one asked us, how are you going to be that? But as we grew up, we were told, stop daydreaming, be practical, be responsible. Don't get your hopes up in case you get disappointed. And slowly, many women stopped imagining what they wanted. Her MidWay brings imagination back online. This time in service of desire. So, what is desire? Desire isn't about pressure or forcing outcomes. It's about allowing yourself to ask for more. More of what lights you up. More of what feels alive in your body. More of what would I want if nothing was off limits. Desire is the moment you stop editing yourself. And that's why this step is where the unleashing begins. Before plans, before clarity, before action, you have to let yourself want. Yes. Let yourself want. As I'm saying this, if you can feel even a flicker or something you've been afraid to want, just notice that. This is an internal awakening moment. And here's why this matters so deeply. Because without support, most of us women, we shut that moment down. We talk ourselves out of it. We tell ourselves it's unrealistic. We go back to playing small. Inside Her MidWay, we don't rush past desire. We don't minimize it, and we don't turn it into a checklist. We create space for it, and we guide it, and we help women turn that desire into direction, step by step, through our dream pathway method. Because when desire is honoured, when desire is honoured properly, clarity starts to emerge naturally. So now that you understand why desire is where everything begins, let me show you how we support women inside Her MidWay actually walk this path without doing it alone. So I want to share this invite with you. It's not a push. I want you to listen to your body. See what comes up when you hear this. Earlier we talked about desire, about allowing yourself to want what you really want without shrinking it, without editing it, without talking yourself out of it. And here's the truth that I've learned from working with women in midlife and me being a midlife woman myself. Desire is powerful, but it is also fragile. Without the right support, most of us leave a session like this feeling inspired, and then we slowly talk ourselves back into the old patterns. Believe me, I was there for over 10 years. I used to do so many masterclasses, go home and think, well, that was nice, but maybe it's not practical. That's not for me. Or I should be grateful with what I already have. Or maybe I'll just save all these masterclasses and I'll tell myself that I'll come back to them later. But I never do. But that's why I created Her MidWay Mentorship Experience. It's a 6-month mentorship experience for women who are ready to stop circling their dreams and start walking towards them, gently, honestly, and supported. This isn't a course to consume. It's not a program either. It's not a program where you're left to figure it out on your own. It's an experience. One where you're going to feel seen. One where you're going to feel supported. One where you're going to be held accountable and guided as well as you walk your midway. So inside the mentorship, we follow the Dream Pathway method, the process that helps women move from dreaming to actually living what's calling them. And today you experienced a little bit of the first step, which is the desire. Inside Her MidWay, we continue walking the full pathway together, step by step. So desire doesn't fade, turns into direction and a movement. And this is the best time to join. And I'm not just saying that. Why? It's actually very special because this round is Her MidWay's Beta Experience round. And it means you're joining at 70% off the future program price. And not only that, you are a founding member of Her MidWay Pioneers, where your voice and your feedback matters, and it's going to shape a movement that will support midlife women for years to come. This is for you if you know you want to go all in and receive close support and finally make those changes that you've been longing for. And what's included in this beta round is a bi-weekly, it's a group mentorship program, but also included for the beta round only, this round only, bi-weekly private one-to-one coaching with me. And that is an amazing offer with this. So as well as the group sessions, the group training, you are going to get one-to-one one-to-one coaching with me. Not only that, you're going to get daily WhatsApp support and encouragement only on this round. And also for the mentorship program, you will be, if you wish, you have the option to have an accountability partner. So in exchange for the beta pricing, I'll ask for honest feedback, check-ins, and a testimonial when the time feels right. So the full 6-month Her MidWay mentorship experience will eventually be priced at $2,997. But because this is the beta round, the investment today is $897. That is 70% saving and a beautiful opportunity to step in early. This is a small, intimate container, and that's intentional because depth matters. So there are 10 spots altogether, and there are 9 spots left because one lady, amazing lady, has jumped in already before I'd even shared this publicly. So there are 9 spots left. So if this feels like a full body yes, you can save your spot using the link that I'm going to share with you. And look, if you're not sure yet, you feel curious, you're welcome to book a Dream Pathway call with me. This call isn't about convincing you or anything. It's simply a conversation to explore whether Her MidWay is the right step for you. Because you don't have to decide from pressure. You don't have to rush. Just notice what feels true. It's got to be right for you. Because the women this experience is for don't need more motivation. They just need support to stay with their desire. And if that's you, I would love to walk this midway with you. I truly look forward to walking this journey with some of you in January. And if you sit in there with questions or just want to talk it through, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm very happy to have that conversation with you. So if this feels right, if this feels like your next step, I look forward to hearing from you. Take your time, and I look forward to working with you, some of you, in January. Bye for now.